All right, we have three little solving problems that we're going to do. Here's the thing. When you're looking at these guys here, you really do need to make sure you know what your options are. So I'm going to have us look at this one here. I noticed that this one simply has an x squared in it, and that's it. So what I want to do is I want to get this guy alone and move everything else over. So I'm going to move the 2 over, which gives me 48. I'm going to divide by the 3, which gives me 16. And then I'm simply going to square root, which gives me a plus 4 and a minus 4. Remember, when you square root something, you have to get a plus or minus because negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, and positive 4 times positive 4 is 16. Let's look at this one here. Do you notice this one here is kind of like the same situation we had up here? You have something squared and all these other things are just numbers, so I'm just going to isolate this little section here. And by doing that, I've got 9 over here. So now I want to square root. I get x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus 3. So we have our x plus 3 equals 3, and our x plus 3 equals minus 3. Oops. So we have x is equal to 0, or x is equal to negative 6 as our two solutions. Let's go ahead and look at 6 here. For number 6, same thing, we need to get this all by its lonesome. Just move all these numbers over. So we're going to move the 7 first, which is 32. We're going to divide by a negative 2, which gives us a negative 16. When I square root this, I get plus or minus 4i. Square root the 16 to get the 4. Square root the negative 1 to get the I value. So the last step I have is just add the 1 back over. So I have 1 plus 4i and 1 minus 4i as my two answers. If you wanted to write that as 1 plus or minus 4i, that is legal. You are allowed. Let's go ahead and continue with these. We can kind of see all these in the same video. It's a little bit larger too. So let's look at number 9. Number 9 is so similar to these guys here in that we really just want to get this guy isolated first. So I'm just going to move the 7 over. And once I get the variable as isolated as I can, then what I want to do is I want to undo this. So the opposite of square rooting something is squaring something. So I get x plus 5 is equal to 81, and x is equal to 76. When I'm done, there's only one answer there, because you don't get two answers when you square something. You only need to get it when you square root something. Let's look at two others. For these things here, the first thing I want to remove is the 7. And in order to do that, this is multiply, so I'm going to divide. Once I have that, I no longer need the parentheses, so I remove them. But then I'm going to want to isolate this guy again. I'm going to move the 3 over, and then I'm going to undo the square rooting and finish up my answer. Alright, the last one that I'm going to do with you is this one here. Same thing, I want to get rid of these guys here. I do need to get rid of this one first because that's addition. And in terms of PEMDAS, I need to undo addition before I undo multiplication, and definitely before I undo my little exponent here. I'm going to move the 9 over, which gives me, 6? I'm going to divide by the 3. And then I'm going to undo the square rooting by squaring. And then finish up isolating the x. So it's kind of a few different times. I'm going to isolate, and then isolate, and then isolate to finally get the correct answer.